I'm Dr. Fidel, and this is Dr. Zheng.
Yes.
And in today's video, we're going to go over what the triggers are for anxiety. Anxiety is a large problem in the world today, and it's pretty much a silent killer. So unless we become aware of what these triggers are, we can't really know what's triggering them. So, Dr. Lee, can you please go over some of these common things that are causing people to become anxious during the day that they might not be aware of?
So every time I treat patients with anxiety problems, and then I always ask them, what their habits and the medical history, and I get the couple of triggers which we have to avoid that in order to achieve the best result when you practice natural way to cope with anxiety. And the first one is avoid multitasking. So when you have to handle more than two things, and then you actually stimulate your sympathetic nervous system automatically. It's not like you want to trigger that. It's just it's an automatic nerve system. So that's the multitask. You have to focus one thing each other. Then you can be more relaxed, and when there is real threatening things happens, and then you can cope with that with reasonable actions. And the second one is drinking too much coffee, and I actually see many people start with the coffee first in the morning, and then the whole day they're worried about things is going to happen to them. So if you avoid that, you can practice meditation more efficient way. And the third is maintain your blood sugar at a certain level, so won't go too high or go too low. If it's too high, then you get hyperactive and it drops lower, and then the sudden drop also stimulates adrenaline release. And the other thing is the digestive system. You have to keep your GI system in a healthy state. So if you eat junk food or especially when you take anti-acid medication for a few months, and then I notice people who already have anxiety problems and they develop panic attack. They couldn't drive the car or cross the bridge or stay in a room with other people. And so that's the one we can try to improve the digestion by avoid eating junk food or get sufficient sleep, and then our body can repair the digestive system. So sufficient sleep also calm down your nerves. So that's why when people couldn't sleep for a couple of days, and then they go to a panic attack condition. And so that's a couple of triggers we need to avoid in order to make our mindful practice more efficiently. And the next video, Dr. Fidel will talk about what is the natural way to cope with anxiety.
No, that was very good. As you can see, there's a lot of different things during our day that we might not be aware of. Most things that we enjoy, actually, that we don't think cause anything, like drinking coffee. One might not think it has an effect where it does have an effect. Or even multitasking. It's just such a common thing that we do during the day. It's performed so often, and yet we don't really think that it has such an effect where in fact it does, because it really boosts up the whole fight or flight system. And if we're not focused on one thing, our minds are all over the place. So bringing our attention to these things, to the moment, becoming more aware of these triggers, and that can certainly help us be less anxious during the day. Thank you, Dr. Lee. That was very good.
Thank you. So next video we're going to talk about the natural way to cope with anxiety.